God save us. God save us. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have had one of those tremendous, knackering days. I even couldn't watch half of the match. The first match I missed. All three goals happened then. And yet my team loses 3-0 against Inter Milan. You know, I think as many, and I think all Roma fans out there, I think we're still processing this defeat because we weren't expecting this. We were not expecting this at all. At all. You know? I wasn't surprised by the fact Roma lost. Because if you were following yesterday's live stream, I predicted Roma to lose. I think Mourinho knew, with the circumstances he was under, you know, not having the top players, that he was gonna lose. But that is not the problem, okay? Losing to Inter Milan is not the problem. Because if it, you know, until it was a 1-0 defeat, a 2-1 defeat, it was understandable. Unfortunately, losing when you fight, when you shoot, when you defend well, when you play well, and maybe you don't deserve to lose is one factor. But losing 3-0 at home with, you know, not even trying to do something is just, you are mocking me from the very start of the match. Because today's match was unacceptable. Unacceptable. I think, you know, I can't emphasize how much of a bad match it was. How much of a poor, you know, for a team which has their objectives, which after this match, I think the 4th position objective, forget it. Absolutely forget it. Because there are teams which are better than us. You know, Inter Milan, Napoli, AC Milan, Atalanta, Juventus even, you know, they're all better teams than us. So the only thing which remains to try and achieve this season is the Europa Conference League. But to be honest with you, if we play like this in the Europa Conference League, you know, bye-bye. Bye-bye once again. I think today's match, now Alex is not available today. Actually, you know, Josh will be here. He'll give us his view in a bit. But the thing which I want to say is that AS Roma lost this match on Wednesday. You might be surprised if I say this. I'm not surprised. Roma, 50%, actually even more, 60% of today's match, bang. We lost on Wednesday against Bologna. Because I think it's you know, it's okay to be aggressive, but you need to limit your aggression. You know that, you know, Abraham's yellow card is completely unacceptable, and it was, you know, it was the referee's fault. But Karsdorp, for example, you know, Karsdorp, you know that you've got a very important match on Saturday, and yet you get a yellow card during that match. You know, I think part of this match, which we played today, was completely lost on Wednesday against Bologna. Because, you know, I think, once again, if Pellegrini was here, if Abraham was here, if Karsdorp was here, if Felix was probably here, I do think Roma would probably not have lost 3-0. But to be honest with you, we would still have lost. Because just the way of coming towards this match, stepping on that football pitch, is completely and utterly disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. The owners should invest in the team. They're trying to frustrate Jose. When they frustrate him and he leaves the club, they might never find a manager like him. AS Roma has too many average players. Roma is so far behind as a squad compared to top 4. 100% agree. They were doing their best. You can't kick them to be better. Experience only comes by doing. This game just showed our level and highlighted where we need to improve. Yeah, but it was a bullshit of a match. We did not play well. I think we can have justifications over justifications. We can be positive. But unfortunately, under these dynamics, you can't be positive at something. You just can't. So, we need to give a sense of negativity as well, because they need to. Roma's not gonna watch this, but we can't say that Roma deserved to win today. We can't say that Roma played well today, because that would absolutely be out of this world. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I think two things are not good enough in this team. First of all, the first thing which needs to improve and links to one of your comments is the depth. The fucking depth of this team is just the academy team could get instead of the reserves and probably do better. We don't have a depth. And this match was 100%, we got proof from this match. Because if the match we don't have, Abraham, Pellegrini, Karsdorp, El Shaarawy, Felix, we don't play. I'm sorry, but we need depth. Because it cannot be possible for this team to perform well and to win only when these players are available. Because unfortunately in football, not always things go in the right way. Pellegrini is one hell of a fragile player. He'll be out until after Christmas. So what does that mean? If Pellegrini is out until after Christmas, I can't play without Pellegrini and I lose every single match. No, this team needs to be ready to adapt under every single circumstances. If Pellegrini is available to play, well, okay, we've got a bonus. If Pellegrini's injured, we can't start going, oh, Pellegrini's not here. That just drops my level of the team. I'm gonna play shit because I don't know how to play without Pellegrini. Because then, you practice in training sessions playing without Pellegrini, playing without Abraham. I think a big thing which needs to improve in this team is being able to play even when your top players are not available. Because I am sorry to say this. But Vinya and Shomurodov are the most useless human beings in the entire universe. Vinya can't attack and can't defend. Yet, he's still playing. I am 100% convinced that there's an academy player in the Roma academy which is 10 times better than Vinya. I think Calafiori is better than Vinya. Vinya is absolutely useless. Shomurodov, he's nothing better. Don't think he's better because, in bloody 90 minutes he played today, I think he only touched 2 balls. Okay, I understand Inter Milan are a better team. I understand that they're the favourites. But bloody hell, try to do something. Try to do something. So, I think, this is where an interesting argument comes upon. I think, how much did we pay for Vinya? I can't remember. I can't remember how much we paid Shomurodov. But I'm sure that if you combine the two prices, it will probably be around 35 million euros. You already know that AS Roma is a club which cannot spend useless money. They're a club which cannot spend money as PSG want to do. They need to have a balance. So in my opinion, and this is my opinion, you can have completely different opinions, but in my opinion, Vinya and Shomurodov were a waste of money. With those 35 million euros, you know how much you could have improved this team? By a lot. And also, I think instead of buying new players, if we would have kept Under and Kluivert, I think this team would probably even be better than now. At least Under tries to do something. At least when Under played at Roma, he tried something. I mean, I don't have anything against Shomurodov, but every single time he steps on the pitch, he gives me the impression he has no clue what he's doing. It's like as if he's not part of the training sessions. He doesn't know the schemes. So I'm not against him, okay? Of course he needs time. He's a new player, but he needs to step up when Abraham is not available. And this is just another like pointing the gun to all those haters that If you think Abraham is useless, then who do you think is useful in this club? Abraham is probably the most useful player in this team. Okay, he might not score much, but can Shomurodov do what Abraham does? Keeping the ball, letting all the team go forward, grabbing those skills, shooting in goal. Have you ever seen Shomurodov trying to shoot today? No, at least Abraham tries. So any Abraham haters out there, please rethink of what goes on in your head, because Tammy Abraham is a must in our team, is an absolute must. To be honest, it's time to sell Veretout, Cristante and Mancini. We just have bank average players. I'm sorry, Simon, this squad does not have depth. We can't expect the team to perform balance or best without key players. Yes, I agree with your point, mate. But I think this team needs to start playing even when the top players are not available. Because we all know that Pellegrini will get many more injuries. We know that we will get many more red cards. So, it's physically can't be possible that every time they don't play, we lose. I think we don't have a good balance. I think we obviously cannot compete with these clubs which are better than us. But obviously, I think we don't compete with small clubs as well, because Roma wastes a lot of points against small clubs as well. Now, before moving on to Josh, which has recorded in match reaction, it's not live, but he sent me his match reaction. I just want to point out two last things. Rui Patricio in that corner kick. Bloody hell. I mean, you represent your own country, and I just don't need to process how that ball went in, to be honest with you. Using all those Einstein formulas, E equals MC squared, how the fuck did that ball turn and go in at the back of the net? It's unbelievable. It's fucking unbelievable. So, I think we need to be careful, because I've never seen a corner kick goal. Yes, I've probably seen one, I've probably seen two, but I've never seen more than 2 corner kick goals. And what happens? A corner kick goal happens against my own club. That's karma, but obviously karma has been hitting us throughout the entire year. But one last thing I want to point out, which is, I think half of it is positive, half of it is negative, is the fans. Yes, and I say this every time, and I want to emphasize this, because you don't see it often. And I bet you have never seen a club losing 3-0 at home and the entire Curva Sud, the entire stadium, chanting, cheering your team at the 90th minute when you're down 3-0. I bet you've never seen that. And that just puts to mind that the passion is there, The passion is there. The fans want more from this team. As it's understandable. The fans want more, but this doesn't mean that if we lose 3-0, if we lose 4-0, if we lose 6-1, the fans are gonna go against us, against the players. And I think this is something that the players need to understand. Mourinho needs to understand himself, that the fans, at least Roma fans, will always be with the team. Yes, okay, there will be moments where the fans will start booing the team. But the fans know that it's too early, to criticize the entire season. We lost 3-0, and they have the power and they have the rights, the fans have the rights to criticize this performance, because it was shit. But this performance doesn't need to characterize the entire season. And this is something the fans know. And this was, to answer one of these questions in the chat, which is Jose in or Jose out. I might be a Mourinho fan. You might hate Mourinho. But almost halfway through the season, we've had bad moments. We've had good moments. We've had mediocre moments. We had absolute shit this moments. Mourinho out after less than 1 year is utterly naive. Because I want to point out something. You might be a Mourinho hater, you might be a Roma hater, you might hate this club. But what you don't know is that Pallotta and Monchi, when they left this club in ruins. And the Fredkins, to be honest with you, okay, we can criticize their transfer market, but to be honest with you, you cannot expect the Fredkins and Mourinho to change things like this. You need time. And especially in these clubs, which are not rich clubs, you need extra time. So, what I'm really asking here is to not give up right now. It's to not give up right now because, the season has just started. We're not going to get, I'm a Roma fan saying this. Forget the Champions League. Forget it. Right now, the 4th of December, just meditate and forget the Champions League. Because to get in a Champions League, you need to win top matches. Roma has not won a fucking big match in 2 years. So forget the Champions League. What we need to try and do this season is to end this season in a good way. To try and earn something big with the Europa Conference League. To try and earn something big with the Coppa Italia. And to get 5th. 5th would be good. Back in the Europa League, okay, we wanted the Champions League, but there are better teams than us. And there's nothing we can do. So, we need to be united. And I say this every time, but I believe in this team. We lost 3-0. There is no clue to justify this performance. And you're absolutely right. But this does not mean that we need to just dismantle ourselves from AS Roma. And one thing I want to point out is that Roma fans who booed at Edin Dzeko are absolutely ridiculous. Because we all know what Roma fans went through with Edin Dzeko. Reaching a Champions League semi-final. Dzeko, the 3rd best striker who scored more goals in the history of this club. He comes back at the Olimpico, scores against us. And you boo at him? Doesn't make sense. He has given you pride. He has given you, passion. No way you could boo Edin Dzeko. So I think Edin Dzeko only deserved claps. And I think Edin Dzeko was quite disappointed by the AS Roma reaction. Because they started booing at him just because he scored against us. I love fair play. I love to be realistic. You cannot boo against Edin Dzeko. He is my idol. Even if he's an Inter Milan player, he remains my idol. So I think we can't boo him. Now, this was my ramble. Let's see what Josh thinks, right? Let me get him on. Let's see what Joshy thinks.
Hello, the Simon Show family. Our good friend Simon has asked me to do a match reaction, a little 7-minute match reaction for you lot. And at first I was like, sure my friend, sure, of course I will do that for you. No problem. I will give the family what they want. But then I watched the match, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if I can give a 7-minute match reaction. I don't know if I can give a 1-minute match reaction, because I don't think there's much to say. Germany. I don't think there's much to say, fam. I don't. As Roma fans, we can sit here, we can say, no, okay, we don't win against the big teams, but we're still winning our matches. But we're not winning against the big teams, and we're not winning against the smaller teams either. Venezia, for example. Like, it's for me, Bologna, it's despicable, man. Can't happen. How can we sit here and say that we are fighting for a top 3 spot? And do you know what? Leave it. Fuck it. Top 3 spot. No, it doesn't matter. European League spots. The Champions League. Europa League. Conference League, I don't think if we stay with this form, we can't make it into the Conference League next season. We can't. And I'm not a fan of the Conference League. I think we should leave the Conference League now and focus on the Serie A, because if we don't, we won't even make it into the Conference League. And personally, I think the Conference League is a joke. And we won't even make it into the joke. What can I say about this team? What can I say? I am not doing well. I mean, today, this match that we saw tonight, this match, one of my main comments is it's the 70th minute. The 70th minute, we're losing 3-0, and I'm looking at the pitch, and 10 out of 11 of our players are walking. They are walking. They are walking like they're going to get a coffee in the morning to wake themselves up ready for a Monday day. No, it's not possible. It's not possible. We got to be pressure, pressure, pressure. They were playing with us in that last 30 minutes. They were playing with us. They knew they'd won. They knew they'd won. After half time, they knew when they came back out and saw how we were playing, they knew that they had won. They knew it. So they started to play with us. And they did. But how is it that they turned a game of football into a game of piggy in the middle? It's turned it into piggy in the middle. We were playing a bit of piggy in the middle. They were just passing it in a circle. And where was the pressure? In those circumstances, they teach you, even at my club here, which isn't at Roma's level, they teach you when it's that, and they're playing piggy in the middle with you, what do you do? When they're playing possession, what do? You pressure, 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 pressure. Like your life depends on it. We weren't doing that. No one had pressure. No one looked like they wanted to play. Everyone looked like they just wanted to go home. And that's not fair on the fans. It's not fair on us. I mean, I'm sitting there watching this, and for 30 minutes, for the whole game even, I don't hear Roma fans stop singing once. Not even for a few seconds. The whole time they were singing. Even at 3-0. Even in the 90th minute. Even when we're playing like that, they're singing and supporting us. I'd feel guilty if I were the team. I'd feel guilty making us go through that. Making us go through those games. I mean, what's happening here? We've got the special one as our manager. We've got good players. But we look like we're playing football at break time or recess or wherever you're from. After the first few lessons of school, we look like we've gone in there, just had a little fun. What is it? What is it? What's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. I want to know what's wrong because I can't figure it out. Is it the manager? I'm thinking it can't be because it's Jose Mourinho, right? The special one. Best manager to ever live. One of the best managers to ever live. Is it the players? No. We've got good players. Players who have won stuff in the past. Mkhitaryan played for Man United. Tammy Abraham won the Champions League with Chelsea. Rui Patricio. The Euros. Top 10 performance in the Premier League with Wolves. It's not our players, it's not our manager. What's going on? What's going on? I don't know. And when Simon asked me to do this match reaction, I'm sitting here with not much of a match reaction. Because I can't give you specific details of who played and who didn't. Because none of us did. I can't give you specific details of where we need to improve and where we can't improve. And when we need to improve, what we need to work on in training, I can't. Because I don't know what it is. It's everything. What we need to improve on is not playing like we're little kids. We need to use here. And more importantly, we need to use this. The heart. Because first of all, you need to play with your brain. But when your brain fails, your heart needs to stay intact. You need to still run. You need to still fight. None of us were fighting. None of us. It's like we've given up on this season. It's like we've given up completely. And how do we expect our fans, us, to keep chanting their name? To keep the flag rising, waving high when they're playing like that? For me, it's just disrespectful. And I have nothing else to say. This has been Josh. Thank you, Simon Show family, for watching these videos. And I'm sorry I can't give you more information. What can you say? Peace.
Yeah, so basically, I think me and Josh agree on the primary thing, which I think many of you guys agree as well, which is not so much the defeat, because it was understandable, you know? It was understandable. They're a better team. But what surprised us is this. And this is what needs to improve more than defeat. Because if you step up with this and you go, Inter are a better team, then yes, you're gonna get battered. Absolutely battered. So what's important now is to move on. Just like we did after that 6-1 defeat, which arguably was even worse than this. We need to move on. This is the past. You can't change it. We're playing on Thursday in the Europa Conference League to try and consolidate to try and get in first position. So first we think about that. And then we think about bouncing back in the Serie A against La Spezia, a match which we need to win, which Nicolo Zaniolo and Mancini will both miss because they can't control their fouls and their aggression. And just like what happened with Abraham and Karsdorp, they're going to miss La Spezia's match. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want negativity to spread everywhere. It's a bad match. It's a bad performance. But what we, AS Roma fans, are good for, or are famous for, is to never, ever, ever, in the history of this club, give up. And this is extremely, extremely important. We lost 3-0. We got battered with a terrible performance, but the passion, the heart remains there. Lads and lasses, don't be that negative, because hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll bounce back. And yeah, I'll catch you soon. Simon